Hey, it's me. So something I didn't say in my last video is that I had a lot of pain in the hospital. I think it was all gas pain. My guts freaking hurt. It didn't really feel like incision pain. I mean, obviously my incision sites were sore, and then also when I go to take a breath and like I feel my lungs fill, that hurts. That still to this day hurts. It feels like less and less each day. But mostly the most uncomfortable thing when I was in the hospital was I felt like I had this huge bubble of gas in my gut. It wasn't really in my chest. It didn't, radiate to my shoulder or anything like that. I just felt like I had a big bubble in there. So, especially that, I walked a ton while I was there after I got off of the morphine, and I was no longer as nauseated. I always still carried that stupid blue bag with me. Oh my god, I still have it with me because I would rather, oh no, I don't have it. I would rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And I just felt better having it with me, so I walked the halls. It wasn't that big of an area, but walked the halls, and of course every time you pass the nurse station, and they were just like, get it, like, you're doing great. I think once I was walking so much, they were like, bitch, why do you need to stay another night? You are obviously doing fine. But I also knew that when I got home, it wasn't going to be that convenient to walk, because I was just in my hospital gown and stupid little socks, like boobs flapping in the wind, like not a care in the world, walking the hall, and it was, nice and safe. There was something for me to, grab onto all the time. And I knew once I got home, it wasn't going to be like I could just walk the hall. You know what I mean? I live in a small house. Like, I'm going to walk from this cramped corner to that cramped corner. So that was kind of another reason why I wasn't in a hurry to leave the hospital. So I walked and walked and walked. And I started burping a couple times, but I never passed gas when I was in the hospital. So Friday I went home. My best friend came and picked me up just because it was John's last day at work, because he did take like a week and a half off, but ridiculously I didn't want him to start it while I was in the hospital, and I had expected to be in the hospital 2 days, even though directly before going in, the surgeon's office was like, oh no, you'll be there one night, one and done, you'll be out, no big deal. But he, his schedule was already set. It's not something he can change at the last minute. So he was working. He could have gotten off and come take me, but my best friend was off that day, so she offered to come get me, and she picked me up around noon on Friday and drove me home. And all I wanted to do was shower and go to bed, which is what I did. And she left, and like, I probably technically shouldn't have been alone, but I was fine. I was like, okay, thank you, bye, because I didn't want her to hang around. And I didn't shower at all at the hospital. I could have. There was technically a shower in my bathroom. It wasn't the stuff. It didn't scream, use me. So it just didn't seem very convenient. And I had like the shower chair and everything set up at home. So came home, took a shower, and that just like wiped me out, just like Jen told me it was going to, and climbed into bed, the best bed, and just like sat up at a recline just like I was in the hospital, and dozed off. And then the kids came home after school because we do our change outs on Friday, so it was like their Friday afternoon coming to our house. And they both came in when they got home and were like, hi, how are you doing? It was so sweet. And then I was just like, zonked out, and so that's where I stayed all night. And that they probably checked on me like once every hour just to see like, did I need something. They grabbed me popsicles and stuff like that. And obviously I got up a couple times to use the restroom or whatever, and went downstairs to try to get something for myself, so I was walking, but they were great. And And it was just kind of like that for the next couple of days. Just really lazy. Actually, Saturday, I got up, was feeling good, and on day 3 in my program is when you can go from all clear liquids to, I don't have like clear liquids, full liquids, soft foods, purees. I go from clear liquids to soft foods. I don't know. So I could have things like applesauce, yogurt, strange soups, cottage cheese, stuff like that on day 3. And I hadn't really stocked up in any of those things because I didn't know what I would want. And so I was, Saturday I got up, showered, and was feeling good. Well, actually I had to shower and then like rest for a while because showering and getting dressed kind of took it out of me. But then I was like, John, will you take me to the store? And I had left my Click Shake mix at work, so I was like, well, let's go by work. I want to grab that and then go get some lactose-free milk and just like shop around at the store because I don't know what I want. Like I want to wander the aisles and then come home. And we left, and I was like, oh, and let's go drop this dry cleaning off. So we were out for a little bit and dropped the dry cleaning off, went by work. And I work in a big office building, so it's not like I walk, park at the door and walk in and there's my office. It's a big parking lot, walk in, go past security. John had to check in because he came with me. I was like, what if I pass out? You won't know. And he's like, just call me. And I was like, you want me to call you if I pass out? How's that gonna work? Anyways, so we went up, got that, and got in the car, and then we went to the grocery store. And I was really stuck on nutrition labels. I didn't want anything with carbs. And so one of the things that they suggest that's on the little short list of things that I could eat day 3 on is like refried beans, instant mashed potatoes, cream of wheat, oatmeal, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I had just been off of carbs and so obsessed with carbs the last 2 weeks doing the pre-op diet that I was like, I don't need to be eating that stuff, right? Like, a scrambled egg I could see, but like mashed potatoes, I got no business eating mashed potatoes. So I wasn't looking at anything like that. I was trying to find something that still had some protein to offer that would be delicious, right? So I don't know what the hell I thought I was gonna find, but I'm just like wandering and like looking at nutrition label after nutrition label and like putting things back and being like, nope. And John would be like, what about this? And I'd look at the label and be like, nope, too much sugar. And so after probably half an hour of that and me looking at all the different milk options, so I wanted to try a couple. I'd never had lactose-free milk. So we got that, and then I also got some protein plus milk, which looks like a great option. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to handle the lactose. I haven't tried it yet. But once we were like at the, the second end of the store and almost done kind of going through the aisles, I was all like choked up and starting to cry and went to him and was just like, this is so hard. What did I do? Because I was exhausted, like sweating and gross just from like being up and out for too long. And then I just was like, I'm never going to be able to eat anything ever. There's nothing here. And I'm on this like soft food phase for 6 weeks. So I was just like, I can't find anything that I want to eat right now. How the hell am I going to do this for 6 weeks? So it was definitely like my first bout of buyer's remorse. I know he was, just hugged me and like silently told me to get it together. And, I did get a few things, got some yogurts and some stuff, and some cheese potato soup, like a big bag of it, so it was something that we could all have for dinner one night. And I just didn't get a lot of anything that I didn't think was the best choices. Like that cheese potato soup offered no nutritional value at all, like no, as far as protein. Anyways, so I was really down, but I got up and I left the house, and I did that again on Sunday. We went to Lowe's and somewhere else, And then on Monday we went and did it. So it's just like every day we find something that will get me out of the house. Well, we need to do it. It's just because we're trying to kind of winterize and clean stuff up for the winter. So we've been just going out and running errands, you know, a few places at a time, and still by the end of it, I feel really like tired and like I'm ready to go back home and sit my happy little butt down, but I've been doing it, and that makes me happy. I haven't been walking for the sake of walking, so like I haven't left my house and like walked to the block or, you know, the neighborhood or anything like that. It's just been when I'm going out and doing that stuff, that's something that I'm sure I could be doing better. You know, it is what it is. I did have my follow-up today, and everything there was, everything at that appointment went great. They took, because I had Dermabond over all of my incisions, so they removed all of that and then clipped the suture tails. Anything that was poking out, they cut off. Anything that's inside will absorb. They just didn't want anything catching, and so I just have steri strips over my incisions now. And then they gave me some tape to put over them once the steri strips come off. They did do some labs, and they rushed them, so they've already called me back and said all of my labs looked fine. They of course asked me about my water intake and my what I've been eating, and they were really happy with all of those questions, because honestly I've been living off of one Greek yogurt a day, which takes me over an hour to eat, and then protein shakes and water. That's what I've been living off of, because I've been afraid to try anything else. And so they kind of gave me, today they were just like, get over it, get over the nutrition label for a while. You're healing. You need to, you know, eat something besides a protein shake. So like, yeah, who cares that instant mashed potatoes aren't the best for you? Give them a try. Try the refried beans, like, you know, do all of those things. This is about like seeing what your body can tolerate and such. So, I didn't mention Saturday and Sunday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I was not tracking how much water I was getting in, and I'm sure I wasn't getting in enough. Since then, I've been getting 40 to 60 ounces a day, which they were actually really impressed with. Every sip of water I can feel. I can feel come down right here. It almost gives me a sensation of like heartburn. And I'm hoping that will go away soon, because I don't experience it with anything else except for water. They told me today to try like flavoring it or doing different things. I've tried Propel once, and it was much worse. But like, I don't experience that when I'm drinking the shakes or anything. So also weight. On the morning of surgery I was 255. This morning I was 247.6. So a 7.4 pound loss for the week, which is great. I'm already in a smaller jean size. Like, I tried on a smaller size jean, because with the like 16 pound pre-op plus this another almost 8 pounds, I could tell in my jeans, and I had the next smallest size in the same exact jean I was wearing handy, and I tried them on, and they fit perfectly, so that's exciting. I guess that's my first NSV. I'm sure I have more to say, but I didn't plan for this at all. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna go be in the car, let me film a video. So if I think of anything else, I'll come at you again. And until my next one, I love you guys.